Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. In this video we are going to take a look at this 62 mass Homage by Seestern. I don't think there is any part number or official part number for this model, so yeah, we are still gonna call it the 62 mass Homage from Seestern. When I first purchased this watch, I didn't have a lot of expectations, but now I can tell you that I really love this watch. Well, you are right if you're gonna argue that this is not an original design. I agree, but it is an homage done right, especially in the dimensions department. The watch has a case diameter of 38mm when I measured across 2 to 8. It has a lug-to-lug distance of 46.3mm and it has a thickness of 13.4mm with that slightly domed sapphire crystal. It also comes with a 20mm lug width, which is a blessing if you have a bunch of straps that you need to play around with. The 38mm case diameter is a blessing for my small wrist. I have been on the hunt for a decently sized 62 mass Homage. Yes, the Seiko ones are too big. Most of the other Chinese homages are even bigger, with some having lug-to-lug distance of over 50mm. I then looked at and picked up one Hitori Ryoku diver from Norman Watches. I'm going to put links somewhere in the video if you're interested to look at the review of the watch. They are at 40mm but still look big on my small wrist due to the slab design of that 62 mass Homage watch case. The case of this Seestern has a very simple fine brushing finishing. The top are circularly brushed. The finishing is done pretty good here. And there is a very small high polish chamfer that starts from the tip of the lug, and as it goes out to the mid case, it just disappears. I think this is a very cool design, and somehow I think it also gives the watch a better proportion, or it makes the watch look proportionally better, if you will. There are drill lugs, making swapping to straps without quick release a breeze. It has an unguarded crown, which is similar to that old 62 mass, and it has this sea star etched on the crown. The crown is a screw-down crown, giving the watch a 200 meters of water resistance. A viewer commented in the unboxing video that Seestern is German for sea star, so I guess the sea star on the crown makes a lot of sense here. The watch has a coin-edge bezel with a ceramic bezel insert. This is where my watch run into some QC issue. The bezel is very tight when the Lume pip is near the 12 o'clock position, but as it moves away, it's more free, or it becomes easy to turn. So let's try to do this in action. So here it's gonna be very tight. So as it moves away from the 12 o'clock position, it gets easier for me to play with the bezel, especially in this 3 or 4 o'clock position. And then after that, like maybe here, it starts to get tighter and tighter and tighter again. But I think the action of the bezel is still okay. And let's say if we come to this like very loose position, let's see, I think there is just a very, yeah, this just some very small backplay, which is rather good in my opinion. But yeah, this is something that I will have to point out, but I still think it's not a deal breaker because I don't really get to use the bezel a lot of time. The dial is protected by a sapphire crystal with some blue AR coating. The blue dial is an absolute stunner. It has a very nice sunburst effect, and I find this shade of the blue to be, I don't know, it's very attractive. I'm attracted to this blue here, and I just have that, I don't know, because I have several blue watches, but the blue on this watch, somehow it always grabs me. It always, like when I want to lift my wrist to read the time, I always find myself, looking and enjoying this blue dial. So it's really beautiful blue. All the hour markers are applied and they have high polish frame surrounding what I would call a very big Lume real estate. All the hour markers are quite big and you can see they have a large surface for that Lume application. The hour and minute hands have brushed midsection and polished bevel edges. The minute hand has a rectangular Lume paddle near the tip. I'm not sure what Lume Seestern uses, but it's decent enough. They didn't really mention the Lume compound that they use in their AliExpress store, which I'm gonna leave links if you're interested to get a watch. And the best thing is that even the date wheel is Lume. So I'll just slot in a Lume shot here. Right, so this is how the Lume looks like when it is in a darker room. Yes, I think the Lume is pretty nice, and one great thing is that if you can see, the date wheel is also Lume. Yeah, that's definitely a plus in my mind. I think it helps you to read the date, when you're in the dark if you need to. Powering the watch is an all too familiar Seiko NH35 that beats at 21,600 beats per hour, has a power reserve of about 40 hours, rated accuracy of -20 seconds to +40 seconds per day, hand windable, hackable, yada yada yada. So yeah, sorry if you are new to watches, you can always Google like what is NH35 is, and yeah, to us it's a common automatic movement that is to be expected on a lot of these micro brands and even Chinese watches. Well, they are good movement, they are good, reliable, robust movement, so nothing to complain about, but it's just all too familiar. This watch originally comes with this FKM or fluorocarbon rubber. It is soft and nice to touch, and it has a simple sign buckle. So you can see that there's a simple Seestern, maybe etched or engraved on that buckle, and it has brush finishing as well. It's soft, it's pliable, it's good to touch, but my problem is that this strap is just too long for my wrist. So I'm gonna put it here. Maybe I'll need to move the camera slightly higher. Okay, so as you can see, the strap is slightly longer, not a lot, but the number of holes are just not enough for me to for it to fit on my small 6-inch or 15.2 centimeters wrist. So that is why I'm pairing this watch most of the time on this button blue or navy blue Elite silicon band, which I think it matches the dial pretty nice. So let's do a reshot. Alright, so this is how the watch sits on my 6-inch or 15.2 centimeters wrist. I think the watch fits nicely on my 6-inch wrist. Well, the lug-to-lug distance is a little pushing, but the smaller case diameter doesn't make it overly big on my small wrist. I think it still looks proportionally okay on my small wrist, and if you have the same wrist size as mine, I think this is definitely a good option. Yep. You're still here? Okay, time for a closing thought. If you have a smaller wrist like me, this will be my top recommendation if you are looking for a handsome looking 62 Mars Homage. Given the specs and the movement, I think it is decently priced. Well, one thing that you might need to bear in mind is to make sure that you can get an aftermarket strap that will fit your small wrist, or like our small wrist. If you have wrist sizes of 6 inches and below, the original strap will not fit our wrist. So this is something that you will need to bear in mind. And if any representative from Seestern is watching, yeah, please consider adding a couple of more holes, for those of us with smaller wrists. Much appreciated. With that said, I think that's the end of this video. If you're new to my channel, please help to subscribe to my channel. It really helps me a lot. And you can always follow me on my Instagram at gfw_watch for more watch pictures. Till then, I will catch you guys in the next video. Stay safe, take care, bye bye.